Hey Divas, this is Shay, your Love Diva, coming to you live. And I'm coming from yourlovediva.com, where I help single professionals and celebrities to be able to manifest love in a short period of time. But I wanted to talk to you today about women with these type A personalities because the type A personality is definitely necessary, right? In corporate America, in our businesses, and in making it happen. But do these type A personalities really work for us when it comes to love? Well, I'm going to give you top 10 reasons. This is 10, right? This is my hand appearing twice. So I'm going to give you top 10 reasons why women with type A personalities sabotage their relationships with that personality. The first thing is that you have this go get it type A personality that has allowed you to be successful in your career with everything you've accomplished, right? And so you're really confident in that area because if you run a business, if you're a top performer in whatever industry that you're in, you are a take charge, leader, make it happen type of personality. However, that personality that allows you to be successful in the boardroom does not work in the bedroom. And let me tell you why. First thing, women with type A personalities do way too much. They do way too much. When they're in the relationship, they have a hard time surrendering, being vulnerable, letting go, allowing their man to just do what a man does. And because of that, then they literally are a turnoff because the man is like, okay, well, if you're going to take care of me, then fine, take care of me. I'll let you do whatever. You want to pay my bills? Fine, I'll let you pay my bills. If you want to cook and clean for me or take over doing my taxes or take over doing my laundry or whatever it is that you want to do, then fine, go ahead and take over and do it since nothing is done right unless you're doing it. And so because you're doing so much, you leave zero room for him to have to work for you. And because you leave zero room, then that means biochemically he has no opportunity to really fall for you. Because, ladies, contrary to popular belief, it is a science to falling in love. There is a science to attraction. And if you don't understand that science, then it works totally against you. But once you understand that science, then it works for you. And so doing too much actually turns off the type A man because usually type A women, they want a man who's going to take charge. They want a man who brings something to the table, who's successful in his own right. Am I wrong or am I right, ladies? If you're joining me, please leave a heart emoji. You know how I do. Leave a heart emoji and let me know that you're there. And I want this to be an interactive process. Like, I want you to talk and interact with me because I'm going to be dropping some jewels and I want you to feel me. Now, I know it's going to be a few of you who are going to be like, oh my God, Shay, you're trying to take me back to the dark ages. And a few of you is going to ruffle your feathers. However, if you can listen to what I'm saying and the message that I'm sending you, then you can take it and use it to your benefit. First one, do too much. Second, type A women with type A personalities have a very hard time receiving. Let me tell you something. Think of as a woman, you radiate a certain energy, right? So you have masculine and feminine energy. In order for a couple, I don't care if they're gay or straight, in order for them to be able to work, they have to be in harmony or balance with each other. Anything in nature has to be in harmony and balance with each other. Because if you're out of balance and you're out of harmony, then the whole system falls apart. It does not work. And so if you come to the table with this masculine type A personality and you don't know how to turn it off when it comes to your relationship, then you throw the balance of your relationship out of order, especially if he's a type A personality. So here's the two scenarios. You either, A, you get a man who has a feminine energy because you're the one occupying all the masculine energy space, and now he's a passive male. Studies show that passive males make poor husbands and poor fathers. They are the type of male who they don't do much, right? They're the ones that sit on the couch, playing video games. They're constantly pursuing their dream of being a celebrity rapper or basketball player when they're 50 years old, or whatever the hype dream is. And these type of men are usually not the kind of men that go out of their way to help support you, help encourage you, help do what they need to do with the kids. And then you go out and have a baby by these men, and they end up deadbeat fathers. However, you can deal with that where you run yourself tired and then you lower your estrogen, because when a woman's constantly doing and giving for a man, her estrogen is depleted. You know what a depletion in estrogen leads to? Ovarian cancer, a loss in a sense of well-being. It diminishes her health. It diminishes her mental stability. It causes her to stress out. You know the women that you would say walk around and they're itchy, right? They're the B word. That's because they're angry and frustrated because they have to do everything. They're running on that masculine energy. They're running on fumes, on an empty tank, and their estrogen has been depleted. But when a man feeds to you, then you literally raise that estrogen and you have a better sense of well-being, a better sense of security. You're happier. You're more well-rounded. You feel supported. So you either get the passive male or you attract a type A male. With your type A personality, that type A male is going to find you sexually satisfying for a period of time. You guys might have the most amazing sex possible, but you know what happens when you guys have to talk and hang out or even be quarantined together? This is what happens. You're bumping heads because he's like, okay, his masculine energy is enough for the relationship. But here you come with your big masculine type A personality, and there's no room for the both of you guys. So you start to become like his mother. You know what? Men are not attracted to their mother. They can't have sex with their mother. They don't want to do for their mother. Not like that. Not a bossy type who's nagging them and trying to take control over everything. And so now he no longer finds you attractive. And this is what I find with the women who are part of Diva University that I coach, and they come in because they're so successful in their careers, but they can't get a grasp of the relationship thing. This is the biggest issue because they will embarrass their man. They will try to control their man. They will have to do everything, and they leave little room for him to be the man. And now he won't have sex with her because a straight man does not want to have sex with another man. Your masculine energy is a turnoff. Leave a heart emoji if you're feeling me, diva. Please check in and talk to me. Like, do you agree with me or not? Talk back to me. So, let me tell you the next one. They don't allow a man to be a man. We talked about that. They make everything their priority except their man. Make sex sounds. Okay, so you trolls. So they make everything a priority, right? Hi Aisha, how are you? You're learning a lot. Hi Kim, thank you for the heart emojis. I love it. So here with this type A personality, right? So you've been successful in your career. A lot of you are making good money. You have people that are looking up to you or people that answer to you, and your work, your job, everything else, repairing the house, doing whatever it is that you need to do, always takes first place, and your man takes second, third, or fourth place. So your man or your relationship is never your priority. And there's men, they might not come out and say, look, I need you right now. They might not say that. They say it in their behaviors. They say it in some of the things that they might say to you. And a lot of you type A personality women will be so laser focused on whatever it is that has your attention or whatever goal you're accomplishing that you don't realize that your man needs to be feeded too. Your feminine energy literally feeds his testosterone. And when his testosterone is raised, then now he can go out and conquer the world. That's why they say behind every great man is a great woman. Because your beautiful self is able to balance, because it's all about balance, stop and feed into him. Not in positive affirmations and positive words and supporting him and encouraging him, but energetically, you're giving him your feminine energy. However, if you're operating on just masculine energy, you have no more. You don't have that feminine energy left. And a lot of you don't know how to turn it on when you get to your man. So now your man is starving for that feminine energy that he needs in order to have the fuel to do what he needs to do. He doesn't feel like he's a priority in your life. And then that's what causes the bond to start to break. Another thing is low femininity. Low femininity, low feminine energy. That's right, Aisha. Feed his testosterone, not your own. I love that. I'm going to use that. So, low feminine energy, divas. If you are coming to a relationship and you are ran by your testosterone and you have this attitude like, I am who I am, he will either deal with me with all of my attitude, all of my neck rolling, and all of me and my harshness, and he just needs to either deal with it or keep it moving because men can't deal with a strong woman, then you are mistaken. You really are. Because here's the truth of the matter is, the truth is you need to tone it down. That's the truth. The truth is that it's not okay for you just to have a take it or leave it type mentality. It's not. Because you know what I find? In the women that I help coach, the ones who are like over 50 who have that attitude before I'm able to work with them, they are usually by themselves and have been single for a very long time. Old ladies with cats living by themselves are usually the ones that have this, well, this is who I am, either take it or leave it. Now, if you're okay with being single all your life, then have that mentality. But if you're not, then understand that you have to make adjustments so that you can fit somebody like this, so that it can be like a puzzle that fits. And your feminine energy is what allows you to fit. And so, Diva, listen, you are constantly feeding that testosterone and giving and doing, but you have to feed yourself and feed that feminine energy. Another thing is that you're emotionally closed off. Type A women might be exciting at first because men like a challenge. Men are driven by challenges. This is the reason why Tupac says, I don't want it if it's too easy, or nobody wants it if it's too easy. That's because men want a challenge. So this new trend of women just jumping in bed and having sex indiscriminately, that doesn't work biochemically with men. It does not. Men marry women that they pursue. They value women that they pursue. Are there some stories that you can talk about where the woman pursued him or, they jumped in bed the first night and they got married? Yes. Now, if you peel back that roof, now I really question the quality of their relationship. However, still, men need to pursue you and they need to chase you. And if you are emotionally closed off, then there's nothing that they can get from you. Because after a while, after they've been pursuing you and you don't open up, you're not willing to let them in, you're not willing to be vulnerable, you're not willing to connect with them, then you're now a turnoff. You really are. Now talk to me if you're feeling me. Have any of you guys ever had an issue with allowing a man in and he said that to you? That he said like, you don't let anybody in. You don't trust me. Like the last guy did you wrong and now you're jaded and you're bitter. Have you ever heard that? Or do you have a friend that you would say the same thing about? So being emotionally closed off, Kim said yes. Talk to me, Kim, and tell me the situation with that. It's not a turn on, divas. It's not cute to be the kind of woman walking around with a resting bitch face and be like Fort Knox for him to emotionally get in and to be able to connect with you. Kim said, I'm trying to reprogram my mind. How so, Kim? Share that with me. I appreciate your honesty and transparency. Aisha also said yes. So it's important that you can become vulnerable. And the reason why a lot of you ladies are not being vulnerable, especially with the type A personality, is because you can't stand to lose. You cannot stand to fail. And when a relationship doesn't work out, or when a guy cheats on you, plays you, or breaks your heart, you look at it as a failure to you. You don't look at it as a, wow, that's an interesting lesson to learn. Oh, here's something that I can tick off on my journey as I get closer and closer to my soulmate. You don't have that mentality. Your mentality is, I can't be embarrassed again. I can't fail again. So I'm going to just be closed off so nobody gets close enough to me to ever be able to hurt me. Kim said, I'm trying to let go of my masculine ways and be more vulnerable. Kim, I can help you with that. And I love that, because if you let go of that masculine way, then it opens the world to you for you to be more attractive and more of a turn on to quality men. Now, here's Kim said, I feel cold and indifferent when it comes to relationships. Kim, that's the hurt talking. That's the hurt talking. Because when you're hurt and when you've been disappointed, then that's when you start to have that cold attitude, because you associate relationships with pain when that's not what it is. The pain isn't the relationships. The pain is your lack of how to approach or attract a healthy relationship. That's where the pain is coming from. So divas, listen, you are a turnoff as a type A personality woman to a man. Now, I teach women how to attract affluent men, affluent, high value men who are looking for commitment. Period. We're not attracting the bottom of the barrel type of man. And if that's the case, in order for you to attract that kind of man, there's a certain way that you got to be, because they're not attracted to that loud, boisterous, try to take over everything woman. They're just not. They want the classy woman, not the docile kind, not the weak kind, not the quiet kind. You don't want to attract that kind of man that just wants to put you in a corner and have you be quiet. But a woman who knows how to do the dance with him. Do you know what I mean when I say do the dance? I mean, you are able to literally ebb and flow with your man. Because if you cannot, then you won't be able to pick up the cues when you guys are in front of other people and when he needs you to be his backbone. You won't be able to pick that up. Instead, your type A personality will just ram on in there. You will say whatever you say that will embarrass him, and that will send the wrong message to the people that he might be trying to impress or trying to connect with or build a relationship with. And so that's another thing that I teach women, how to be the kind of classy woman that can attract an affluent, successful man who will want to marry you. Because it's easy to attract them, but you might attract them just to want to sleep with you. But getting past that to the point where he sees you as wife quality. I just said I'm ready to do the dance. I love it. I love it. I got you, Aisha. All right, so emotionally close off. You do the chasing. We already talked about that. You're not a man. It's not your job as the woman to pursue or chase a man. A type A woman, she wants to be the one in control of everything, right? It's hard for her to sit back and receive because she's not in her receptive feminine energy. Feminine energy is receptive. That's why as women, we have a vagina. We receive. As feminine energy, you are the receiver. You don't have to pursue. You don't have to chase because you know who you are. You stand in your classiness. You stand in your divine energy. And you already know what you're bringing to the table. So you know the right person is going to find you. You know they're going to show up. Think of a frog. A frog doesn't just hop around chasing flies. It sits on the lily pad in one spot when it finds the spot. And when the fly comes close enough, it sticks its tongue out. So that's the same thing with you, Diva. You just prepare you and put yourself in the best position to hang out in the spaces where the high value men hang out at, on and offline. And when they show up, you stick your tongue out. How do you stick your tongue out? You become everything that your essence was meant to become. You become the greatest version of yourself. You stand in your confidence. You bring all your strengths to the table. And then when he shows up, then the sticking your tongue out is you are receptive to entertain him. You're willing to get to know him, build a friendship with him, and make him pursue you. That's the key. A classy woman, a classy affluent woman, who attracts affluent, successful, high-value men, they understand this very well. They don't have to go running after a man. And this is how you know that you're running after a man. If you are sending the long text to him, right? You know, the text like when he doesn't call you or when he's not doing what you want him to do and he's not going out and treating you the way he did at first. And then now you're sending him a paragraph of an email or a whole dissertation of a text. And now, and now, you know, like you want him to change. So then you share all your thoughts with him. You're chasing him. If you walk up to a man and you're like, hi, my name is Shay, and you look very handsome, that's pursuing him. That's not your job. Your job is to walk near him. Your job is to make eye contact with him subtly and smile or send him other buying cues that I teach. But your job is not to pursue him. It's not to ask him for his phone number and ask him on a date. A real diva does not do that at all. All right, so what's some other things? Hold on, I dropped my paper. All right, type A personality woman. She is insecure and she uses her insecurity or she uses her confidence to mask her insecurity. So you know those women that are so confident or they appear to be so confident. They might be confident when it comes to their career. They might even be confident when it comes to their family or with their kids or anything else, but they're very insecure when it comes to a relationship. They have deep-seated things that make them feel as if they are not worthy to maintain a quality relationship. Or maybe they've had several failed relationships, so now they don't even trust themselves. And because they don't trust themselves, then they're very insecure. But they carry this very confident attitude, but it's masking an insecurity. But here's the problem with this. Here's the problem when you don't address your insecurity. When you don't address your insecurity, then you're still sending out the vibrations. Your insecurity is still going to resonate and attract the guy that's going to feed off of that insecurity. And then you're going to end up attracting a dysfunctional relationship that you just left or that you had in your past. So it's very important, Diva, that you heal those insecurities, that you heal the source of the insecurity, and that you don't just work on and focus on being confident, because being confident is not enough. I know that sounds crazy, right? Being confident is not enough. A diva, the kind of diva that has so many quality options swarming to her that she has a big problem of trying to figure out which one she should choose. That woman isn't confident. She's beyond confident. She's certain. You know what certainty means? Does anybody know what certainty means? If you do, drop it in the comment below when I say she is certain. Kim said, yes, I am terrified of repeating my past. I love it. I love the honesty and the vulnerability. Love it. A lot of people are, Kim. You're not the only one. A lot of people are afraid of repeating their past. They don't want to get hurt so bad that they will sabotage themselves from ever receiving love again. And then they will spend their life and their time lonely because they have not learned how to date more confidently, how to select better quality men, and how to use the dating process to work for them. So I totally get it. I really do. I really, really do. So, you guys, this is really important. You type A personality, ladies, you are accomplishing all kinds of great things in your life. However, you're finding yourself alone. Like you're hitting like 40 in your 50s and you're looking up and you're regretting your life decisions. And then you're alone and you're unhappy. Actually, studies show that this is the biggest group of women. Successful, educated, professional women are the biggest. Hey, Pam, how are you, beautiful? Good to see you. Professional women are the biggest group of single women. And this is the reason why. This is the reason why. Yeah, I just said I need to get it. A lot of women need to get it. So if you want help in this area, then talk to me. Go to yourlovediva.com and schedule a free session with me. We can talk. We'll see how I can help you. And then we'll see what's going to work for you. But whatever you do, do something. Do something that moves you forward, where you're not going to keep making the same mistakes over and over again. Because who wants that? And I know I've been there. I've been there where the jokers that I've dated, a lot of you guys know my story. I have some stories for you. That's why I really can't judge anybody else. I've dated married men. Well, I dated one married man, but he lied. You know how it is, where they get you hooked and they act like they're single, and then when they tell you, they're like, "Oh, I'm going through a divorce," and then you go to his house and or the place he's staying at, and he has his whole setup. So you wouldn't think anything, right? You wouldn't think he's married. He's not wearing a ring. His house has no signs of anybody. Then you find out that he is actually married, but he's like, "Oh, but I'm getting a divorce." So you filed for divorce? Yes, I filed for divorce. I'm getting a divorce. We're not together anymore. So then if you've been divorced, then in your mind, you're going to justify it like, "Oh, well, since you're getting a divorce, I went through getting a divorce, and me and my husband weren't together at all. We were separated for multiple months before the divorce. Hell, we were really separated and broken up for a year before we got the divorce." So I can understand that. But see, women put their logical minds on trying to assess what they would do on a man. But men don't think like that. They will have a full-blown relationship. I just said I read that in your book about Shay. Yeah. So that was the married man. And then when he told me that he was married, I was so into him. So then I want to walk away, but you know how it is, divas, especially when your mind ain't all the way together. So then you're addicted. Now you're addicted. You had that oxytocin rush because you've had sex with them, and now it's hard to break loose. How do you avoid that situation? I teach you how to do that. Not to mention, I married a married man. This is a separate time. Married a married man. Again, he lied. I mean, hell, I sure wouldn't go to the altar with somebody who's married, and I didn't find out until after we said I do months later, and went through that daggone drama. I've been with cheaters. I've been with crazy guys. I've been with all kinds of people who you would say were dysfunctional relationships. But let me tell you what eventually happened for me, you guys. Eventually, I got so tired of being tired. I was over myself. Do you hear me? I had to figure out what was causing me to constantly attract these kind of relationships. And if you feel me, give me an amen in the comment section. I had to figure it out. And I realized that as a child, I grew up in an abusive household where I watched my mother be beat by my father on a regular basis. I watched my father beat my mother with a belt on a regular basis. All the men in my family had dysfunctional relationships. So as a girl, I grew up believing that love was painful, that love hurt, and that you had to earn love because you weren't born worthy. So then I kept attracting relationships that reflected the way I felt about myself. And then when I had a child, I promised her that mommy was going to break the pattern because I witnessed my mom being abused. She witnessed her mother being abused. She witnessed her mother. So that was a pattern, actually on both sides of my family. And I made a decision that I'm not going to give up until I meet my soulmate, which is why I did the experiment of going on over 100 dates in 3 months. That is 100 dates. I went on 100 dates in 3 months, interviewed 4,000 men, women, and couples. Because I graduated pre-med biology. I was going on to med school. I have a very scientific mindset. Those of you who have known me know that I've been in pharmaceutical sales for years. Top performing, won 5 awards in pharmaceutical sales. And so because I have this scientific mindset, I had to do the research. I read hundreds of relationship and human behavior books so I can figure out like what drives our behavior to choose the people that we choose. What do women do instinctually that turns men on? So you know when women are like, well, he just needs to accept me for me, the way I am, and take it or leave it. That is contrary to science, divas, but we'll get into that later. So then I did all this research and I mastered the art so well, you guys, that literally in 30 days, I could get any man to fall for me. Any man. And those of you who have been around for the last 12 years when I started doing the YouTube videos, you would see me come live, right? I mean, they didn't have live then, but I would do a video on that day, and I would say, I met a great guy, and I'm going to be able to capture his heart in less than 30 days, and then I'm going to bring him here so you guys can meet him. So 30 days later, sure enough, I would bring the guy, and he would do a video, and he would be like, "Oh my God, she's amazing. I'm smitten." Pam was like, I remember you, Pam. Like, it's been a while, right?" And so he would say all this stuff. And so then you guys would reach out to me and like, "Well, teach me how to do it. Like, I want to be able to manifest love like that too." And so I started coaching women, and then here I started getting all kinds of testimonials of women finding love and getting married and having babies and everything else. And then I grew a business like that, but I wasn't intending on it. I was trying to find the secrets for myself to break a family generational pattern so my daughter didn't go through it. And so here I am today, married to my bestest friend. And my husband and I, we actually were childhood sweethearts when we were in high school. We met when we were 14 years old. Love my love bug. And we met when we were 14, dating in high school. And then he went off into the Air Force, and I went into college. And then we stayed in contact, right? Because we broke up before we left, but we kept writing each other. And then when he got out, actually, no, before he got out, like when he got a break, he would come and visit me. And so we lost contact because I convinced him to get out the military. Why? Because the Gulf Storm happened at that time. If y'all remember Gulf Storm, give me a heart emoji. Gulf Storm happened, and I didn't want him to go to the front lines and get hurt. So I convinced him to get out of the military. But he was in the Air Force. So really, he would not have went out. He wouldn't have went to the front lines anyway. So my bad. I didn't know. But he came looking for me, right? Because he wanted to marry me. This was like in 2000, I think 2001. And so he calls my phone when he moved to Atlanta. I had already moved to Atlanta. And my ex answered the phone. And my ex was very controlling. He answered the phone and told him not to call again, but he never told me that he called. So I didn't hear from my childhood best friend for years, like 8 or 9 years to be exact. And then we ran into each other at filming, because those of you from back in the day, Pam, do you remember when I got the reality show and I was filming for the reality show? And I did not want to go because I didn't want to do the reality show. It wasn't good for my brand. And he happened to be there as part of the crew. And then the rest was history. We were just friends, and now we're together. So after all of that, I ended up marrying my best friend, who it feels like we have a slumber party every night. It's like, I can't even tell you how amazing it is to marry your best friend. I really cannot explain it to you. But it wasn't by accident. Like, I invested the time and money to figure it out, to like heal my stuff. Like, I have that type A personality. I used to talk to my ex-husband like crap. I really did. I made so many mistakes. When I tell you guys what not to do and what to do, I'm not telling you what I think. I'm telling you what I know. All right? Because I don't keep any secrets from you guys. I'm very transparent with where I came from and how I got to where I am today, and how I'm able to help other people to be able to get the same results. So I say all that with love to say, Diva, don't settle. Call me. Go on yourlovediva.com, book an appointment. Let's see how we can help you. And I'm so glad you joined me today. Does anybody have any questions? I love talking to my YouTube family. I really do. I really do. So if you have any questions, ask me really quick before I end this live. I'm going to wait a few seconds for you. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Kim. You're welcome. Aisha said heart. I have to go find those. If you want to be able to attract an affluent, high-value man, then it's intentional. You don't do it by accident. You don't. When you guys see Eve with her billionaire, trust and believe Eve understands how to carry herself with that man. Eve, the rapper of the image that we would see, is not the Eve when she's with her billionaire. Believe and trust that. Guarantee you. I can write a book on that, on how to identify if he's actually an affluent man, how to attract an affluent man, what he sounds like, what he talks about, what questions to ask to see if he's an affluent, high value man, and how to magnetize an affluent man. I can tell you the secrets, honey. Because let me tell you something. You have options, right? If you could, if let's say that you were given $1 million, right? And you had to spend that $1 million in a day. And you can go to whatever stores you want to at the mall. Are you going to go to Walmart and go shopping? Or are you going to go to Saks Fifth and go to the nice stores where you can get quality clothes that are going to last longer? Where you can have a better quality experience, you can have a better quality look. Now, everybody has the same fixed amount of money. You can choose what stores you go to. I'm telling you, personally, I know that when you spend money on your clothes, that you're going to have a better experience. They're going to last longer. They're going to be better quality versus going to Walmart. Pam said, I found myself nervous around decent men. I feel like he will change quickly. I understand, Pam. But here's the thing. Like, we get so caught up in the guy and like, oh my God, like, I just really want him. I don't want to be disappointed. I don't want this to be an illusion. I don't want to turn him off. I don't want to say the wrong things. I don't want to say no when I'm not comfortable yet to have sex with him because I don't want him to dismiss me and not consider me as an option. So you're dating to be chosen instead of doing the choosing. Here's the fact. A diva is always the one in the driver's seat. A diva does the choosing because you are the prize. That's a fact. You're the prize. And it's convenient for a man for you to jump through all these hoops, right? This is the reason why you hear a lot of gurus, especially the male gurus, they're giving you all this advice, telling you to jump through all these hoops. And that's why it hasn't worked for you. That's why a lot of you divas are still single, because you're following an advice that biochemically doesn't work. It goes against science, period. And the law of attraction. And so now you're in this desperate state, like, I am lacking something. And when you have that energy of lack, whatever you try to hold on to, it moves out of your world. It's a turnoff. It's an energy of desperation. And we all know that desperado is the worst smelling perfume possible. You know how you get a man to really find you irresistible? When you're just like, if it works, great. If not, so what? I'm telling you, when you have that mentality, they will flock to you. Divas, listen, let me tell you something. Before I married my husband, I had all kinds of high value men, very wealthy men that were pursuing me. I had doctors, I had professional athletes, I had all kinds, even some celebrities. Find out, Pam said, okay. I had even some celebrities. One of them bought me a car. One of them offered to pay off my house. I mean, when I tell you, I'm not telling you what I think, I'm telling you what I know. And it's funny because I would not even have sex with them. Scouts honor, God's my witness. I would not even have sex with them. And it's funny, the more I didn't have sex with them, the more they kept pursuing me, the more they kept doing for me. Taking me on shopping sprees, wanting to take me on trips, wanting to give me things, wanting to do for me. You have a lot of men that they just want to be able to pursue and do for a woman because it's in their DNA. And you women are taking away that pleasure because you're making it too easy. You're too busy worrying about him losing interest in you. Aisha was like, you had it going on. I like to think I still do. But with my hubby and the right one. Because it's awesome. Like, we travel the world, we have an awesome life, and we do a lot of great things together. So I really want, in the end, she said, I follow what you're saying because it's true. I get it. I get it. So, like, you just don't understand, like, the less invested emotionally you are in the idea that he's going to lose interest, the more powerful and the more desirable you are. If you can take that to the bank. Now, I can teach you how to have that kind of mindset and energy. And it's a process because you have to like unhook some of the belief systems and you have to heal some of the hurts and different things that happened to you in the past so that you can get to that space. But once I'm able to get you to that space, then you'll see how powerful and irresistible you are. And when if the guy drops off, you're like, whatever. Because then the right one, when he shows up, you're like, oh my God, I'm so glad it didn't work with that jerk face. I'm so glad it didn't work with whoever it was. You're going to be so excited. You're going to be, I'm telling you, you're going to let them go. It's going to be like Christmas. You're going to be unwrapping your presents, men. And when it doesn't work, you're like, okay, that's just not the present for me. Because you're only looking for one. Like ladies, you think that every date needs to be successful. And you think that every interaction with a guy needs to be the guy that's falling all over you. But that doesn't make any sense. The odds are not in your favor for that to happen. Period. The key is getting to that point where you don't give a crap. You're like, he's coming. He's showing up. I just need to align myself with manifesting him. I just need to understand the Diva Love method so that I can attract my man like bees to honey. And it will happen like this, guaranteed. So here's my promise to you. If you work with me, I guarantee you that you will meet your husband within 1 year and be married in 2. Period. Or at least have a ring on it by the 2nd year. Guaranteed. So go ahead and go to yourlovediva.com and book an appointment with me. I would love to speak to you and we'll see if I can even do something for you and if there's a good fit. And I so appreciate you guys for listening. Make sure that you leave your comments below. Tell me what you think. Like, do you think that it is disempowering to tell a woman to let the guy pursue her and not be the one that's doing the pursuing? Or do you see that there's power actually in just allowing and receiving? This has been Shay, your Love Diva. Like this video. Don't forget to subscribe and set your notifications so that when I come live again, you won't miss a thing. Bye, divas and boos. Bye.